In this video, you're going to watch me write an effective headline live using the HeadDump process. And the example I'm going to be working with is the one that we've been using throughout this course, which is a headline for an online course that I'm creating to help people that want to become a freelance copywriter. So that's the headline I'm going to be writing using these 7 steps. This is the PDF document that I've created inside of this course that outlines the 7-step process. And this is where all the steps can be referenced easily. So I've attached this PDF to this video, which you can download at any time. And to get started, we're going to work with the first step, which is the headline brain dump. And the idea here is to just as quickly as possible write down as many headline ideas without letting our mind judge the ideas before they come out. So it's just as soon as an idea pops up, no matter how weird or crazy, we just get it written down. So let's get into this. The Copywriting Masterclass, How to Become an Incredible Freelance Copywriter. Obtain complete financial freedom as a freelance copywriter. Anyone can become a freelance copywriter. Here's how. The ultimate freelance copywriting masterclass. The freelance copywriting masterclass for anyone. A to Z complete guide to becoming a freelance copywriter. Work on your own schedule and escape the 9 to 5 with the skill of becoming a freelance copywriter. Now, none of these I had pre-written before, but as you can tell, they're definitely pulled from some inspiration from other headlines that I've seen in the past. And it helps I'm a fast typer. I know that most people aren't going to be typing this quickly, so don't feel like you need to go this fast. But the whole purpose here is it's just a stream of consciousness brain dump of any possible headline. And none of these have to be good, but we're just using this to get some ideas out there, and later we may pick the best bits and pieces and rework them into a new headline. So I'm just going to do a few more and then we're going to move on. How anyone can get free as a freelance copywriter. Everything you need to know about being a successful freelancer. Okay, that's good enough for now. So that's the brain dump. Now, if you were doing this for a very important piece of copy, such as a sales page for a product you've been working on for a long time, you might want to do this process for 2-3 times as long and get 15-20 headlines. There's no limit to how many headlines you can put here, and you can also just go until you run out of ideas. But for the sake of not making this video insanely long, I'm going to move on to the second step, which is to rewrite competitor headlines. And to do this, you're going to want to go to the top marketplaces of your competitors or where your competitors are. In this case, this is a fictitious course to help people become a freelance copywriter. So the best place that I can think of to grab these competitor headlines is on Udemy, which is an online course marketplace. And I'm just going to look at the most popular courses and pull titles from them. So as I scroll down, based on the way that Udemy works, I'm going to look for the course with the most ratings. And then also bestseller tag is a very good indication. So now I'm going to copy and paste this title. And this is a great example of a competitor headline. And we can also go down and look for related courses. This one isn't specific to freelance copywriting, but it's similar enough. And it's a bestseller, so I'm definitely going to want to use that as a reference headline. And see what else we got. Can do this one. And I think I saw another one up here. This one has a decent number of ratings, and it's specific to freelance copywriting. So I'm going to pull that. So you can grab as many or as little headlines as you like. For this example, I'm going to be working with 4. And typically, you want to be looking at your most successful competitors because they're the ones that most likely have the best headline. And I just want to clear that formatting so it looks consistent. There we go. So now that we have our competitor headlines, it's time to rewrite them. And all that means is I'm just going to be writing new headlines using these words as the source of inspiration. So I might combine some of these. So for example, I could do become a freelance copywriter in 2019. And I'm just going to put these in italics as a way to know for myself that these aren't things that I've written. These are competitors. And just underline it. The complete freelance copywriting course in 2019. Complete freelance copywriting course to become your own boss. How to become a freelance copywriter in 7 days. And I'm just going to do one more of that with a little variation. How to become a successful freelance copywriter in 7 days. How to become a crazy good freelance copywriter. And the same thing, but in 7 days. The complete freelance copywriting course. 7-day freelance copywriting course. And there is no science behind this. I'm just combining them in what sounds or feels right. And just like with the first step, the idea here is to put stuff down as quickly as possible without letting the mind judge whether or not that's a good or bad idea. Copywriting. I'll put freelance copywriting. How to become your own boss in 7 days. Freelance copywriting masterclass. And you can pull from other ideas that you have that aren't directly coming from your competitor headlines. Masterclass. Become crazy good in 7 days. All right, that's enough for this step. And I'm just going to bold these so they stand out a little bit more. And we don't get confused. Okay, next up is step 3, where we're going to use the customer language document. And this is where we're going to pull up all that language we got earlier on in this course, and we're going to write headlines pulling directly from these words. So for example, this person says they need help building their portfolio, finding their first clients, and getting into the waters of this career. So I could do a headline that says, how to build your portfolio and get your first clients as a freelance copywriter. Now, at this point, you don't have to worry so much about whether or not, this sounds kind of weird, but whether or not your course even teaches how to build your portfolio. All we're doing is we're just getting ideas down. And then once we go to select a headline, if our course doesn't share how to build a portfolio, we can decide whether we want to add it to our product, potentially if we're creating a product, or if we're just not going to use that headline. But at this point in the process, that's not a concern of ours. We're just trying to get as many ideas out there. So let's keep going. Become a confident freelance writer in 2019. The most exciting course, freelance copywriting course in 2019. The Freelance Copywriter's Guide to Writing Incredible Sales Copy. Get into the waters of becoming a freelance copywriter. So sometimes you're going to get a lot of ideas from your customer language document. In this case, because in this example earlier on, I didn't pull that much information, I'm not getting too many ideas here. So I'm just going to move on to the next option. And for this one, we're going to use the fill in the blank headline templates. And you don't have to use all of them, but feel free to use as many as you like. So I'm going to start with the first one here. So I'm just going to put the Confident Freelance Copywriter Bible. This is a complicated headline formula. I don't like it, so I'm going to move on to the next. The Confident Freelance Copywriter in 7 Days Manual. Learn to become a 6-figure freelance copywriter like insert successful copywriter. Build a portfolio in 7 days. Inside secrets from a freelance copywriter with 6 years of experience. A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance copywriter without getting stuck. So as you can see, you could go through all of these, but now I'm just going to move on to the next step in the process. And step 5 is to actually print out these headlines so we can see a physical copy of them, which I'm going to do right now. What I've done now is I've printed out all those headlines that we created earlier, and after reading them, I just highlighted the ones that felt right, where either the headline itself felt really good to me, or I saw potential in that headline and I want to keep working with it. And after going through that sheet, there were 4 in particular that stood out. What I've done is I've gathered those 4 together here under step 5, and now I'm going to rewrite new headlines using these as inspiration for step 6. So one that I want to rewrite is this one. The A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance writer without letting doubt stop you. And what else can we do here? And I want to combine the first 2. So it's the A to Z complete guide to becoming a crazy good freelance copywriter in 7 days. And what else can we try here? Let's try the third one. Freelance copywriting. How to become a well-paid boss in 7 days. And let's try how to become a crazy good freelance copywriter and be your own boss in 7 days. So I would say that's good enough for the sake of this video. And what we're going to do for the final step is pick the headline that we want to work with. And we can pick any of these that we've written here, or if we think these are better, I can pick one of these. And normally for this process, I would recommend printing out these headlines again. There's just something special about seeing headlines on paper that allows you to get a different perspective on it. But for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm not going to do that step. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick the one that feels right. And to help me make this process, I'm just going to read each of them out loud, because that's another way that helps me get an idea or a sense of whether or not a headline's a good fit. A to Z, complete guide to becoming a freelance copywriter. How to become a crazy good freelance copywriter in 7 days. So what I like to do at this point is add another way to highlight the ones that I really like. So for some reason, this one really resonates with me, and I'm going to make a note of that. Freelance copywriting, how to become your own boss in 7 days. A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance copywriter without getting stuck. A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance copywriter without letting doubt stop you. I like that one. A to Z, complete guide to becoming a crazy good freelance copywriter in 7 days. Freelance copywriting, how to become a well-paid boss in 7 days. How to become a crazy good freelance copywriter and be your own boss in 7 days. After reviewing all those headlines, I think these two are my personal favorite. Again, like I mentioned in the past, this is more of an art than a science. But ideally, you want to go with the one that feels the best, that feels like there's something special there. And if you can always get feedback from other copywriters that are experienced and or people in your target market to help you make this decision. And right now, I'm finding it hard to decide between these two. And the one that I'm going to go with, because it just resonates the most, is this one right here. I'd be interested to see whether or not that was your top choice of the two. But anyways, that's the process. So those are the 7 steps. And keep in mind, we started from just a crazy headline brain dump with all of these things where some of them made sense, some of them just sounded ridiculous, didn't work. And at the end of all this, we ended up with this headline right here, the A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance copywriter without letting doubt stop you. I'm just going to blow that up a little bit to see what it looks like. A to Z of becoming a well-paid freelance copywriter without letting doubt stop you. Nice. In this video, you followed along and watched me as I wrote a new headline using this headline head dump process.